Hi, today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite exercises that I use when a rescue dog is being brought to me for help, or I've even used it when I've brought home a personal dog. And I refer to this as attachment therapy. What I do basically is physically attach the dog to me so that we remain in close proximity. Okay. Why I do this is because I'm bringing a dog, specifically if it's a rescue dog, in from, probably a pretty rough situation, scary. They're going to be very insecure, and I can't just explain to them, "You're safe now." I want to help you so that we can find out what would be your perfect family. I wish I could, but then I wouldn't need to do this. So I had to find another way to communicate to this dog that they are in a safe place now, that I do want them close to me. I do want to build a bond and a relationship with them, and their needs matter. So how I do this is I take my favorite leash. Ideally, it's going to be 6 feet. That gives both you and the dog enough space without being too much or being too little. You still have plenty of room for mobility, although it is a nice sedentary exercise. Now I'm going to grab a large carabiner clip, and I'm going to hook this onto the leash handle. Okay, because what I'm going to do is, if generally I'm wearing jeans, I'm going to hook it onto the belt loop. If you don't have jeans or no belt loop, you can get an old belt, hook it onto that. If you have an exercise leash walker, they have great little loops that you can hook on. But basically, I don't want to be holding the leash, okay? I want it to be where I can focus on other things and not the leash slipping out of my hand. Because again, I'm dealing with rescue dogs, so when they have a startle response, sometimes it's pretty exaggerated. So I need to be prepared for the dog just taking off on me. Last, I'm going to have the dog wearing a harness, preferably with a back clip. Okay, I really don't want it around the neck because I don't want pressure there. That causes a lot of stress. So, if you can get a back clip harness, that's ideal. So now that we're connected, I'm going to begin this exercise. Now, attachment therapy is probably the most fundamental bonding exercise I do with these dogs that I'm working with. But when I do it is very important, because I want the dog to be able to relax. I don't want him to feel threatened because I'm trying to engage or trying to make him feel comfortable. A lot of times, despite our best intentions, us trying to calm and soothe the dog causes more tension. So what I'm going to do is wait till the end of the day. Okay, I'm not trying to run around, get stuff done to finish out the day or to prepare for the next day. It's generally when I'm going to sit down, binge watch my favorite TV show, or read a book, catch up on social media, have a glass of wine. But basically, I'm going to relax, and that will allow the dog to do the same. Usually, I'll just allow the dog to stay on the floor. Okay, if the dog asks to come up on the couch, I'll let them. But generally, they, as they're trying to figure out this new environment, they generally are happier being closer to the ground. When you do this exercise, what you're doing, in my experience, is you are communicating to the new dog or puppy. It's great for puppies too. But you're communicating to them that you want them with you. You want them in close proximity to you. But without the pressure of engaging. Okay, because again, you're building a relationship. Okay, the human canine, you know, it works because it's a relationship that has a bond, but it also has to have communication. So from my standpoint, it's allowing me to get to know the dog's communication skill set. In my experience, every dog has their own version of letting you know that they want to engage, they want water, they want to play, they need to go potty, whatever it is. So what's genius about the dog being with you is if they move, the leash movement travels to you, so you can pause the TV or put a bookmark in the book and, you know, address the dog in a non-threatening way, because you can just look at him and say, what's up, what do you need, you know. And sometimes they might just be shifting around, but sometimes they may need something. Another great thing about this exercise is if a dog is not feeling comfortable or confident in their environment, in my experience, they tend to wander off. And if we're watching our favorite show or reading a favorite book or in a conversation with someone, it's very easy to not stay present to the fact that the dog's there, and they just kind of slink off. And a couple things can happen. One, the dog can have an accident in the house. They can be destructive. But most importantly, it gives them an opportunity to isolate themselves and allow their fears and insecurities to take over and make things really difficult for them and for you to gain trust back. So when the dog is feeling distressed or they're unsure of how to respond or how to let you know they need something, this allows that they have to somehow address it. Okay, the other great thing is if you want to engage with the dog, you're not going to be reaching down and touching the dog that doesn't really know you yet. That takes several weeks for them to gain trust. So simply by moving the leash around a little bit, it's going to translate to the dog, so the dog will look. And then you can give a verbal affirmation and then offer physical affection, you know, put your hand out, let him sniff. They'll let you know if they are welcoming or accepting of a physical touch at that point. So that's attachment therapy. It's been so successful with so many of the dogs that I've worked with in the past, and I hope it works really well for you. If you like this video, please subscribe and click the bell for notifications. I'm going to be doing other subjects, and if you have a subject you would like for me to consider, please put it in the comment section. Thanks. Take care.